Hello, Seiiti Arata. So why is it so hard to say no? Have you ever noticed that every time you say yes to something, you are automatically saying no to other things? Think about it. If you take on too many commitments, you will suffer later with stress and frustration because you are unable to do things right. And that is why it is important that you learn how to say no. When you say no, you can increase your concentration and you can make good use of your resources, of your time, of your efforts. It is only by saying no that you can focus on what is really important. However, so many requests are constantly appearing through telephone calls, emails, social media, all the people around you. Everybody wants something. And you might even be a little bit afraid to refuse to respond to those requests. So I want to help you remember one thing. You may be a perfectly good person with a gentle heart and still say no. Stop doing what you don't want to do. You need to learn to say no and to do things only when you really want to. If you disrespect yourself by doing what you don't wish to do, you will get angry later. And because some people find it difficult to say no, they may end up saying yes because it might look a little bit easier. But that only postpones the difficulties because they will eventually have to deal with the consequences. If you have the capacity, the availability, and the willingness to stop whatever you're doing to help other people, well, that is your choice. So what makes no sense is helping others and then getting angry later. When you say yes to others, you may be saying no to yourself. And this may create anger and bitterness. And if this happens, it is a problem. You're wearing the mask of the rescuer, or you are suffering from the superhero syndrome. You can take a look at the video arata.se/without drama, then you can see more details. In this case, it is a very important video. Do not let other people manipulate you. Connection is one of the most important values to us. We want others to like us. We seek approval from others. We don't want to be rejected. However, if your relationship with someone is broken after you say no, you may ask, well, was it a sincere relationship or was it a relationship based on some self-serving interests? Don't let other people blackmail you. Emotional blackmail is the manipulative weapon of those who cannot communicate well. Some people just want you around when you're doing what they want. And the moment that you behave otherwise, they will no longer enjoy your company. That is, they don't value for who you are, but only for what you do. A person who really likes you will never insist that you do something that you don't want to do. Do not confuse being generous with tolerating abuse or manipulation. The biggest problem is not when the other person is being manipulative. It is when you have created in your mind some limitations and rules of behavior. You may believe that the person making requests is so important in your life that he or she should never hear the word no. And this becomes clear when you're doing something that you don't want, but then you think, oh, but I cannot refuse. And then you get mad at yourself, of course. And if you ever say no, then you will feel guilty for many days. And why does it happen? This depends on the beliefs, on the mental references, on the psychological processes that are going on in your head. You may believe that you are hurting people when you say no. And this is why the course, How to Say No, will explain all these emotional and psychological details that are related to limiting beliefs. In our course, you will learn how to modify the way you think and feel as you communicate. You will learn how to say no with quality and also with respect, and to maintain the positive connections with the people around you. You can visit the link arata.se/how to say no. Clarify your priorities to value your time. You should value your time. Learn how to say no to almost everything, so then you can finally say yes to what is really important. The difference between moderately successful people and very successful people is that the very successful people say no to almost everything. And saying no to some important things allows you to say yes to the things that are even more important. If you show people that you value your work, that you value your time and your priorities, listen, you will be respected. It is harder to say no when we don't know what our true priorities are. And here is a preview of next week. We'll talk about the superhero syndrome, and to make sure that you're notified when we publish the video, you can subscribe to the Arata Academy English YouTube channel, and then you can enable notifications. Meanwhile, you can also take our course, How to Say No, by going to the link arata.se/how to say no. It is a fast course that you can complete in one single day, and it has all the exercises to reprogram the limiting beliefs that are preventing you from enjoying a healthy life with limits that respect what you really want.